So now we are going to understand the concept of exposure profiling and maintaining online portfolio. So let's get into the introduction. So what do we mean by exposure profiling here? I mean that by exposure profiling, you are going to add certain logos of the firms that you have worked recently or in the past, and you would be adding those on your CVs or resumes. What would they be doing? Actually, they would be helping the recruiter to understand and get a quick overview that okay, you have worked with these certain organizations and this sort of a experience or expertise you might be bringing in into their organization. So this is going to actually help the recruiter to screen you out fast. And alongside the the we have already discussed the quantification and adding action verbs as well in our descriptions. After that, we will be also looking at how we are supposed to maintain our online portfolio and what is the importance of having a professional online social media platforms. So now we would be moving towards the exposure profiling by looking at the example. So now we are here on the CV that we had discussed earlier on as well. Now we are going to go at the bottom here. So if we move to the bottom, you can see there are different logos here that are actually representing that what kind of exposure that I had in the past, and they're actually representing my overall exposure profile in terms of the logos and the firm that I had an experience with, either in terms of getting some education or some charity work or like having some online certification, or I actually had in-person experience there, or I had worked with those firms. So you can add those logos here as well in your exposure profile by the end, or in different templates you can add side by side by the description or the education you are going to talk about. So it is very simple and easy. If you would like to change the logo, you can click on the logo, you can double click, and from here on the upper side you can change the picture, you can add your logos here, or in another scenario you can insert your pictures and images inside your template as you feel comfortable. So the other thing is that what is actually, the profiling that we talked about was on that how you're supposed to maintain your social media portfolio as well. So here you can look at some different portfolios that I have online. So I was working with my team, so I had an official Facebook group here as well. There I was working, and all my work with the team or the videos are uploaded at this page. So what happens that if you have a certain portfolio online social media, if you have some professional page where you have some community work, you have some charity work, you can actually write it down here as your that would be representing that okay, if that person wants to understand you more, they can actually look up there. And in some another scenario, if you have some social cause here, like I had a page on Facebook as well for doing some social cause and charity work, I added that here as well. There is sometimes I actually write some small blogs, so I actually have my online medium profile here as well. So I have actually discussed all those points here. I have added that here in case if they are in a position to actually look up to that and search on that, they can do that and they can understand you better before actually going into the interview, or after when they're going to screen you out and they would be calling you for interview, they might visit these and actually get a positive impact about yourself. So this is another example of a CV. Is for a medical officer who is dealing in the children's field. So you can look here, you can actually add your logos here as well at the start of each experience or that you had, and this is also going to give a positive impact. It is totally up to you how you feel comfortable that where you're supposed to add your logos and how you're going to actually portray them in your CV. So now we will be moving towards the social media, and we'll be looking at the LinkedIn profile and the Facebook profile, and we would be discussing that how we are supposed to actually give it a positive outlook. So now we are at the Facebook. So this is my Facebook profile. So what we have to do is that you have to make sure that all the details that you have in terms of your recent experience or exposure should be present on your actual Facebook profile as well. You can see there in the intro I have actually used my overall branding statement that I was using. So you have to make sure that your social media platforms are up to date and they are actually professional. So there are some professional images that are attached here at the start, and if you scroll throughout this the profile, everything there would be would be professional. There would be less politics, and you have to make sure that you actually have a specific amount of professional content on your social media platforms that are going to actually help other people or the recruiter to understand you more positively. So now let's move towards the LinkedIn profile. So now we're here in the LinkedIn profile, and we have to look at certain points that we have to follow in terms of keeping it professional. So first of all, we have to make sure that you have a professional background in your LinkedIn profile, you have a professional image, and then you'll be having your recent or the last job that you had done, and then you are going to talk about yourself. So this is the actual part where you are going to add your overall elevator pitch. So in LinkedIn profile, either you can use your branding statement as well, or you can talk about something else. But when in on those days when you have applied for different jobs, or you're looking at different jobs through LinkedIn as well, or you are, have started to apply at different job positions, make sure you have a branding statement added here, and that is, overlapping with different job positions. If you have applied for different job positions, if you applied for a single job, then you can add that here as well. After that, if you have some blog or you write some stuff online, so you can add that description here as well. Or if you have your online website, you can add here. Then you can move on towards the overall experiences you had. You have to write them in chronological order once again, and you have to make sure all the activity that you're doing on your LinkedIn profile should be professional. And then it comes to your education, you'll be adding that. If you have certain certifications, you would be adding that here. And you have some volunteer experience actually gives a very positive impact in today's world, that you were actually in the market, or you were there in social work and helping people, helping communities. And then you have the skills, and you can ask people to endorse them, or you can endorse them, and you can ask some people who have you already worked with to endorse your skill set, and you can do theirs as well. And you would be giving your accomplishments here, your projects and languages you could speak, and all the aspects here. So as a whole, you have to make sure always that our LinkedIn profile, our social media platform profiles are up to date and they're professional. As in today's world, the actual recruiters go through and screen you out also in terms of your online presence, so that really matters. So we have to make sure you have a positive online presence as well, alongside a positive and professional CV. So this was all in terms of actually going online and understanding the portfolio and development of your online profile.